The following is a presentation of TFNN. Good morning, Market Kickoff, with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien coming to you live from TFNN Wednesday morning, 9:06 a.m. We got less than a half hour till the start of trading, and the start of trading has already started in the crypto sector in a big way. The wheels falling off, as I just put it in that 9 o'clock update. The market cascading to lower prices. Can't find a bid at all. We got Bitcoin down $10,000 on the dot right now at 33,000. You're down 23% on the session technically right now, but we're in some dicey territory as we speak. I mean, in the last half hour, Bitcoin just traded from above 38,000. We're trading 33,180. It's across the spectrum right now. Even Ethereum down about 50% from the highs. I mean, you look where we are on Bitcoin. Folks, the markets, it's not a coincidence. April 14th. Do you know what April 14th was? April 14th was the day that Coinbase goes public. Bitcoin, 65,520. Just like that, it loses 50% of its value. We go back over to Coinbase to take a look. There it is, April 14th, quite a run. Who was buying at 429.54? I hope it wasn't you, because this morning we're going to open at almost half of that price, 218.50 in Coinbase. You put this thing on an hourly, talk about a demise. We were just trading, folks, a week ago at $304 on Coinbase. You're trading at 218 right now as the pain in the crypto sector continues. And look at this, as we speak, folks, it's not stopping. The 9 a.m. bar, we started at above 34,000 in Bitcoin. Let's put it on a 1 minute so you can really see the demise taking place on a minute basis. You're getting moves in 60 seconds that consist from 33,470 to 31,560. Excuse me, $2,000 moves in a minute as Bitcoin continues to cascade to lower prices. S&Ps right now, lower prices as well, putting it back to a 15-minute chart. Quite a demise from yesterday morning. Look at that. You're talking about 109 points. The S&Ps have given up from where we were overnight Tuesday, coming into the open at about 3 a.m. in the morning. We really sell off towards the close yesterday in the S&P. Let's zoom in on the action. The final bar at 345. S&Ps trade from 41.47. We closed it out at 41.23, and overnight, it was just a slow decline the entire time. We're 52 points in the red as we got about 21 minutes to go until the opening bell. Tech stocks, pretty similar action. Early yesterday, you're trading at a price point of 13,432. We're under 13,000 now. Simple math, 432 points we've given up plus the 15. You're talking about 447 points in the NASDAQ 100 just since in the last basically 24 to 30 hours early yesterday. Dow off 365, 33,631 in the Russell off 33 points. Gold catching a little bit of a bid recently. Gold up to 1877. We're at 1871, positive by $3 on the session right now. Silver's up almost 50 cents. Nope, excuse me, down 50 cents. Silver's down 50 cents because of that drop we had towards the end of the trading day on yesterday. And then you got notes and bonds catching a little bit of a spike recently. We're looking at a yield right now in the 10-year about 1.63% on that 10-year. We're up about 3 ticks right now to 132.16. We got Fed minutes today. They'll be out this afternoon. Let's jump into some of the stocks with earnings. Target out with their numbers. We had Walmart, just to jump over, crushed it out of the park with their numbers before the open yesterday, gave back some of that gain this morning. You're trading low with the market to 140.15. They came into their earnings at about 139. Target shares, kind of similar action, right? Huge numbers. We're going to pull them up in a moment. Target spikes to 217 from a close of 206. And just like that, we're now up only about 2% on Target. What would happen if these stocks had missed? I mean, what you're seeing here is, and we're going to get into it. Let's do it right now. We'll get into the numbers. Interesting enough, too, folks, I mean, all these headlines, they get to update them almost every 60 seconds, right? I was going to talk about Bitcoin, getting ready for the program, pulling up the news in the morning. Bitcoin plunges to 38,000. Well, we got a 31,000 handle, folks, before I could even get on the air in Bitcoin. Talk about a dicey scenario. And look at this. I got to go back. We just almost hit a 29,000 handle, folks. It's not stopping in that market. We're going to be talking about it today for sure. Okay, back to the stocks that are really crushing it. Target. The important thing about Target here because we knew that they were going to crush it, right? How much they were going to crush it is a fair question. We knew they were going to crush it. Target expects a more profitable 2021 after its sales soar. Operating margins seen widening above last year. First quarter sales growth more than doubled the analyst estimates. Okay, comp sales growth, you're talking about a level of 18% in the first quarter. And look at the numbers that they're coming in with, just staggering across the board. And jumping over here, sales jumped 23% as exclusive brands, curbside pickup, drawing shoppers, getting into their numbers. Excuse me. I have them in here. Yes, here they are. Earnings per share, $3.69 versus $2.25. How about a revenue beat of 24.2 versus 21.81? Sevenfold increase in net income from a year ago. Year ago, though, we know it was a total mess. Comp sales growth, 23%, the number they came in with. Look at the numbers across the board the last 4 quarters, right? Just staggering. Total revenue rose 23% to $24.2 billion. Market was looking for 21.81, but what we're seeing here is that the market was really looking for bigger numbers than all these expected numbers, because Target's only up 2%, and you just crushed it out of the park. So expectations were above expectations. At Target stores and on its website, traffic grew 17% and basket size grew 5% in the 3-month period compared with a year earlier. Comp sales, as we talked about, 22.9% compared to a year earlier. Market was only looking for 10.7. Well, guess what? Market was looking for more than 10.7. If they come in at 23% and you're up basically 2%. Comp store sales grew 18%. Digital comp sales grew 50%. Huge numbers. Curbside, in-store pickup, and shipped home delivery, popular options. Sales through same-day services rose more than 90%. We're living in a world, folks. I was shopping for something yesterday. I was looking for same day. I wanted it here same day. We're living in that environment. You're seeing it. Amazon spending money to up the ante. Walmart spending money to up the ante. Target, I'm sure, gets it as well. So same day up 90%, led by 123% growth in drive-up sales. In-store pickup rose 52%, and sales through shipped, which I think is how they get it there same day, I believe, 86%. Apparel, strongest merchandise category in the quarter. People need clothes now that we're going to be going outside again. Sales increased by more than 60% versus a year ago. Again, I don't like looking at numbers from a year ago. Nobody was buying out there at Target shopping for their next wardrobe in that quarter when the world was shutting down. Nonetheless, strong numbers for Target as we went over. And as we talked about, you got Target pulling all the way back still. We're now up less than $3 basically from where we were last night. Man, it is tough to be some of these companies with expectations to the moon in a big way. Okay, we got Target. Lowe's, a little bit of a different story. You got Lowe's pulling back a bit. We're at 188 from 192 for Lowe's numbers. Getting into the Lowe's earnings, beat on robust home improvement spending, but shares fall is how they surmise it at the top. I mean, check out the numbers, folks. You know, 321 versus 262. Revenue, $24.42 billion. Market was looking for 23.86. First quarter net income, $2.33 billion, which is how they get to the 321 a share. Net sales rose to 24.42. Market was looking for 23.86. How about same-store sales? Growing 25.9% in the quarter. Market was looking for 20.3. For some analysts, however, that sharp trajectory was not good enough. You got a Zach Tatum, senior equity analyst at Wells Fargo, saying that they expect to see the growth in the upper 20 to 30s. Lowe's pulling back a bit on those numbers. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back.
Golden ratios give shape to everything in our world, represented in the Fibonacci sequence. These special numbers define the patterns that make up our universe. Not even markets can escape the omnipotence of these ratios. Larry Pesavento is a 45-year market veteran who has published nearly a dozen books on the powerful patterns we find in nature and their relationships with the ever-elusive markets. Larry's newsletter, Fibonacci 24/7, will teach you to harness the power of these natural golden ratios in order to create successful trades. Fibonacci 24/7 is designed to teach the tools you need to identify and act on these undeniable and reoccurring patterns. Sign up for Larry's newsletter, Fibonacci 24/7, and you will also receive free access to his trading webinar, Trading Strong Trending Markets. Try out Larry's newsletter risk-free. All of TFNN's newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
If you're not currently using the TAS Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The TAS Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, TAS understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the TAS Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today.
Hey there, I'm Andy Arbertine with Tiger Precious Metals and Stones. Whether you're looking to buy and sell precious metals or trying to find the perfect diamond ring, I'm here to help. I have over 15 years of experience with diamonds and precious metals. You can call me directly at 727-329-8245, and I will personally answer any questions you have and help you find exactly what you're looking for. I will be your personal concierge in the metal and stone business. Give me a call today, 727-329-8245.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. We have the S&Ps down 51 points right now. We have the NASDAQ down 243, Dow off 331. Checking back in the crypto sector, Bitcoin small bounce off of that low. We got Bitcoin right now 32,830. Just going to jump over real quick. I mean, it's not just Bitcoin. They're going to catch all the headlines, of course. Bitcoin will. Crypto is going to catch all the headlines when they talk about the amount of market capitalization that's been wiped off some of these cryptos. Ethereum, super strong currency, right? Gets used for some of those smart contracts, etc. Ethereum, just the last week, is down about 50%. Okay, now that's not Dogecoin, folks. That's a coin with actual value, actual value in terms of facilitating transactions, just like that, 50%. That's the last week. I mean, we're just going back to May 12th, folks. It's May 19th. You were trading at $4,300. You're trading at $2,200. You want to see some volatility. Just for fun, do not get on the Dogecoin bandwagon, folks. If you do, buyer beware. Doge is down 13% in the last hour. We got the days down 27%. The week is down 36%. But the reason why people love these cryptos that are worthless, folks, is because from 8:50 in the morning, it just went from 21 cents to 37. This crypto sector. I was talking about with friends. Be careful, because this isn't a real market. There aren't circuit breakers, et cetera, in this market. We might be seeing something pretty interesting today in that crypto sector. All right, folks, let's jump over to our man, Kevin Hinks. Folks, every trading day, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, Fast Market, the TD Ameritrade Network team, Kevin Hinks, Alex Coffey, breaking down hypothetical trades. They're going to be talking equities today. I know that. They might have to talk a little Bitcoin with what's going on in that crypto sector. Kevin Hinks, what's happening, man?
Good morning, Tommy O'Brien. Yeah, there's a lot going on here this morning, but, take cryptocurrency out of this, and a lot of this market is pretty uneventful, right? Bonds aren't moving very much. Gold, the U.S. dollar, not moving very much. This is a sell-off triggered by cryptocurrency. Now, what would be healthy for this market today, Tommy? I think is if the stock market were be able to separate itself from this move in cryptocurrency and move back, off its lows. That would, I think today is an important day for the overall stock market, because it needs to break up with cryptocurrency. Let's put it that way, because the fact that the stock market is following cryptocurrency lower, there is no fundamentally sound way to explain that relationship. So I think what's going on right now, I think 31,297 was the 200-day moving average in Bitcoin. It went through it, and now it is back above it. So I think that's going to be an interesting level. We'll see if that signals the bottom. It touched and went through its 200-day moving average. Hasn't been there in quite a while, Tommy.
Yeah, it's wild, man. I mean, I just got a 15-minute chart, Kevin, up on the Thinkorswim platform. It goes back a week, 5 days, and I have 58,140 from last Wednesday on my chart, and I also got 30,205 from just the last few minutes on that spike in Bitcoin. Interesting how the conversation is just going to completely change, right? Everybody was thinking about piling on the bandwagon, following King Elon, maybe putting some Bitcoin on their balance sheet. I imagine that conversation has been removed for a while from that sector, and maybe that's just kind of a little bit of the decoupling that you're looking for, because it's a whole different conversation when that can be wiped out 50% in a week. I think a lot of people thought, yeah, pullback's possible, but maybe not 50% in a coin like Bitcoin in the span of a week. But it happens, and we see it. Back to equities. We got some movement today, of course, with Target out with numbers, Lowe's, TJ Maxx, all pretty strong numbers in a big way. Target kind of giving it back again like Walmart. I know we got some earnings coming up tonight. We got Fed minutes as well, Kevin, as if we don't have enough going on this afternoon. What are you going to be looking at for the program Fast Market coming up at 11?
More retail, Tommy, as we look at Cisco Systems in the A block, and the B block we'll look at Kohl's, and then L Brands in the C block. So really interesting look at some of these names that as they're coming out this week. Big week for retail, as you know.
And they've just been crushing it, huh, Kevin? I was listening to your program yesterday. You know, you're looking at Walmart, how they reacted. You're looking at Target, the expected move. Folks, check out the program. They're setting up hypothetical trades. They're talking about expected moves, implied volatility. I got a chart of Kohl's up here, Kevin. Man, quite a rocket ship from 20 to 64.80. Is that right? Yeah, yesterday. Wow, 64.80. And L Brands, disclosure, I have some L Brands, talked about it from the early days. Man, they've been on fire, Kevin. You got Victoria's Secret, right? Bath and Body Works. They almost had to give up on that deal. They were going to spin that off. Ended up not working out. The lows of COVID are $8, and we made, I think that was yesterday. We're talking about $71.99 on the open yesterday. Pulled back a bit. I'll be looking for that. Let's jump around. I'm going to see Analyze tab on the Thinkorswim platform. L Brands, almost a $5 move on a $70 stock, folks. Cisco, we got about a $2.18 move for a $52 stock right now. Kevin, as always, man, we look forward to the conversation, and we look forward to the education, most importantly, coming up at 11 o'clock.
Thanks for having me on, Tommy.
My pleasure, man. Take care. Folks, every trading day, check it out. Great time of the year to check it out with earnings. They're going to be talking about 3 great stocks coming up with their numbers after the bell. Check it out. It's as simple as that. Jumping back into the markets, S&Ps, it will be interesting, as Kevin said, the sell-off. Now, how about we got to jump to Coinbase, okay? Because, folks, if you're paying attention to markets, okay, when you see something like this going on, sometimes it just seems too simple, okay? The day Coinbase, the biggest crypto exchange in the world right now, potentially, goes public, they put a reference price of $250. I'm thinking they probably wish they went a little lower now, because we're far below that price, which everyone's going to be talking about. Nonetheless, there was such an incentive to keep the Bitcoin crypto sector market in general at highs, okay, that we actually made a literal high to the tick on the day that Coinbase goes public of 65,520. They were talking about potentially a $100 billion valuation. Didn't even come close to that for Coinbase, and it's not even going to be close to it. And just like that, folks, it's been all pain since then. Elon piling on as he may. And I talked about it early on in the program, folks. We're below where Bitcoin was announced that Tesla was getting into the action. February 8th, I believe, is that day. And we just cascaded right through that level. 30,000, definitely a critical level when you look. That's where we bounced in January in that market. But as I said, wheels are coming off. Be careful in that market. We're going to get some huge moves. The other thing you're talking about here is that there's no circuit breakers. There's nothing in that market, right? So if pain really escalates, we might see something that we're not familiar with, because it just doesn't happen in stocks or currencies to that degree. Every value in the crypto sector is somewhat arbitrary, okay? What is the difference of Bitcoin being valued at 34,000 versus Bitcoin being valued at 24,000? Show me the fundamentals that warrant a Bitcoin being worth $34,000 as a fair value versus show me the fundamentals of Bitcoin being valued at $24,000. It can't happen. It's an arbitrary value that is reflective of supply versus demand, but it's still an arbitrary value. Bitcoin can still be around in the future and facilitate crypto transactions at a level of 24,000. Just something to think about, folks, because the moves, they're pretty wild. And take some money when you get it, folks, when you get runs, especially in something like this, because, man, if you had money in whether it was Bitcoin, Ethereum, right, from 4,400 down to 2,200. I bet a lot of people ran Ethereum from $200 maybe, $300 up to $4,000. And I hope they took some cash up just like that. You give back so much of that investment. You got to take profits eventually, folks. Stay tuned. We'll be coming back from the market open, folks. We'll be right back.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. The printing presses are working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The U.S. deficit has risen 200% in 1 year with no end in sight. The markets are looking for an additional stimulus bill to get us through this once-in-a-generation pandemic. There is no free lunch, folks. The more stimulus dollars put into the marketplace, the less your dollar is worth each and every day. This is the time to protect yourself with a portion of your portfolio in the metal market. The Gold Report comes out each Monday morning. I bisect and dissect the dollar, silver, gold, the XAU, and the HUI. The Gold Report is a long-term hedge against the dilution of your buying power. The U.S. has put more than $6 trillion into the marketplace in the last 6 months, with more expected in the next few months. The market did and does need the stimulus, but it will have long-term implications on our buying power. The Gold Report comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to TFNN.com and order the Gold Report now. Protect your buying power. Order the Gold Report now.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den trading room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. We got markets open and we got S&Ps down about 53 points. We're opening right at the pre-market session lows of 4,069. We take a look at the daily, and the S&Ps have had this trend channel line up here for a while, and folks, we're at a critical level. We'll see where we go. But man, you match it up from the lows of October, you're talking about 32.54. We bounce almost at that level in early February. You bounce nicely in March, also back near that level towards the end of March. We bounce again right at the trend line just a week ago, May 13th, and just like that, we're back down right near that trend channel line. To zoom in on the action, you're talking about 6-7 points away from where we are, but the S&P is not finding a bid just yet as we're dropping 4,069. All right, jumping back to crypto, a little bit of a bounce there. Say a little bit, right? $4,000 went to the upside from 30,205. We're still down $9,000 or 21% on the session right now on Bitcoin. Crude really selling off as well, down $1.87 for crude, $63.59. Just like that, we've given up almost $3.50 since early yesterday's trading in crude. Gold up $4 at $18.72 this morning, and we'll jump to notes and bonds. The 10-year right now, a little bit of a pullback from that volatility. The 10-year is flat, we'll call it, at 132.12 right now, and that's correlating to a yield right now about 1.63%, I think. Let's take a look. 1.64, we'll call it, the yield on the 10-year. All right, jumping around. So Tesla continuing to slide, down 4%. If Tesla owns some Bitcoin, well, they just lost about 20% of whatever they had on the books of Bitcoin in the last 24 hours. You have Cathie Wood and ARK, RKK, is that it? I believe. There it is. Down 3%, getting a little bit of a pop, correlating probably to Tesla rising a bit. You put this thing on a daily, though, folks. How about from 160 down to 100? We're now back to basically September prices. Cathie Wood, she was like the biggest star on Wall Street. She loaded into all the tech stocks. You're going to live and die by the tech stocks, folks. Well, when you're going to live and die by Tesla and you get a pullback from 900 to 550, Tesla pretty close to where we're talking about here. Tesla back in September 1st, you're trading at about $500. The high there, you're back to 555 right now in Tesla prices, down about 3.4%. She's also in Coinbase. And as we talked about, Coinbase hitting 208 today. Reference price 250. Arbitrary price level. But folks, can you find any strength on this chart? Not likely. And the crypto sector is going to change overnight in terms of the amount of money that's been sucked out of that sector. When you have money in these cryptos that you have the ability to trade with, that is what spurs trading and exchanges. Now, yes, volatility is a good thing, but not when they just all fall out of bed. Okay, you're seeing people that might not have even envisioned this type of a pullback possible, especially in the legitimate coins like Bitcoin and Ethereum and the likes. You're seeing that sell off. It's going to make people very timid maybe to be running up those profits again. If that happens, Coinbase down 10.2% right now. You pull up the Analyze tab for the Fundamentals tab on the Thinkorswim platform, you're talking about $44 billion. Remember they were talking about $100 billion market cap for Coinbase? Yeah, not even half of that right now, $44 billion. Still a pretty staggering number. Rightfully so for some of the numbers that they pushed out in the last quarters, their last earnings. Last week they came out with their numbers pretty strong. But the whole sector right now getting shaken, and you got Coinbase down 10% to 215. Okay, what else we got going on in terms of what we're talking about? JetBlue. So they're going to begin service to London with flights starting August 11th. Service to London Heathrow August 11th and to London Gatwick September 29th from New York's JFK. JetBlue's been planning to launch that one for 2 years. Talk about a little bit of an impediment during COVID. The New York-based carrier earlier this year unveiled new Mint business class cabin for service, so they'll be starting that. Now, JetBlue, taking a look. JetBlue, a pretty domestic airline, which is why they've had such a quick rebound. You put it on a 3-year weekly to see the COVIDs. We're back basically, as in to see the full COVID trading experience, right back to those levels of prior to COVID, whereas you pull up the likes of, now Delta's a strong one, we're almost there, 46, you were at about 55 to 60 prior to COVID. United, the international airlines, not even close. You came into the beginning of the year at 90, you begin to fall out of bed with COVID at 80, you're still sitting at 55 for United. American Airlines sitting at 23, maybe 30 or 27 was about the price coming into COVID for American as well. We'll take a look at Southwest. Southwest actually above where we were, as in the anticipation of some picked up travel. Southwest gets it all back from 22 to 60. And again, JetBlue, though, they'll be getting international travel to London coming up soon. $19.56, down with the market right now at about 2.3%. Let's take a look at some of the cruise lines. So this is an interesting one for the reopen. Cruise lines, probably going to be the last thing to reopen. You think about getting on a ship, thousands of people, you're kind of trapped in there. If there is any type of an outbreak, if possible, might get trapped on the ship. Kind of seems to be the area people might be most hesitant to get back to. Now, some people can't wait, right? They got to get back to life in general, completely understandable. But when you talk about filling the amount of ships that they had filled at capacity on a cruise ship, there's a reason why Carnival's trading at $27, and you came into the year at $50 last year. Prior to COVID, you really fell out of bed at about $42 when stock started escalating late February to lower prices. You've risen from 8, but you see where we need to get to. Norwegians, NCLH is their symbol, still under 50% of where you started. 2020 prices of $59.78. You really fell out of bed in late February at about $52 for Norwegian. And listen, in Florida, there's going to be a battle, right, between Norwegian, between our governor saying you can't require vaccinations. These cruise ships ain't going to open up anytime soon, folks, if they can't try and make sure that those ships are safe, right? I think one of the plans was originally that they're going to require vaccinations for adults, and then they're going to look for negative tests for children to the likes to kind of make sure that they're doing the best that they can to get everybody on that ship that is not a risk. That's probably the only way they envision that they'd be able to function. These are companies, they're private companies, and probably the only way that they can function, folks, without cases sneaking in is something that radical when you're talking about a cruise ship where you have potentially thousands of people in the same area. So that's why they're dealing with woes right now. They're not out of the woods, right? We've heard, internationally, not even close. But some of these stocks, eventually they'll get there. This will be a trade eventually. And it's a slow one. It's just taking a little time. But Norwegian right now at about half the price, along with Carnival as well. All right, got to check back in on the market, and Bitcoin continuing to rise a bit. Still a pretty hellish couple of weeks. I mean, look at these weekly bars, folks. You go back to last week, we're at 60,000. You just touched 30,000. That's a beginning of a parabola potentially, folks. And if you get to the bottom, if this is parabolic and you get to the bottom, not sure what just happened there. There we go. You're talking about 10,000 basically. You're at least talking about 20,000 where things really started to rocket from December. You see the run up. December 14th, you're trading at a low of 19,000. By the beginning of January, you had a print of 42,000. Okay, and just like that, you're trading at 30,000 over there on Bitcoin. Going to be a dicey market. We got those S&Ps basically right down to that area I was talking about, 4,065. You're down 57 points right now, at 1.3%. Tech stocks down 1.5. Let's jump around to some of the FANG stocks right now as we head out to the break. Amazon shares down about 1.3% at 31.90 this morning. You got Microsoft shares down 1%. Catching a bid, though, on the open for Microsoft at 240.65. Apple shares, we're going to be talking Apple when we come back. They got a couple items. They're going to be talking about chips. They're going to be producing their own chips. Rolling out a new MacBook Pro potentially this summer. We're talking a little Apple. Apple down about 0.9% right now, catching a little bid on the open. NASDAQ 100 down 189 points. Bitcoin now with the 35,000 handle. Stay tuned, folks. Be right back.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
Technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Will the S&P 500 continue to climb? For bold trades on U.S. large-cap stocks in either direction, trade SPXL, SPUU, or SPXS. Directions Daily S&P 500 Bull and Bear Leveraged ETFs. Direction Leveraged ETFs. An investor should carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses before investing. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a fund's prospectus and summary prospectus, call 866-476-7523 or visit directioninvestments.com. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. We have the S&Ps down 57 points right now. That's 1.4% in the red. Let's jump over to our man, Teddy Kegstad, folks. Every trading day, Forex-trading-unlocked. That's how you can reach Teddy. We talk to Teddy every Wednesday at 40 past the hour, talking Forex. Not sure if Bitcoin is a foreign exchange, but we got some action in there, let alone with the currencies. Teddy Kegstad, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, we have action all over the place between the cryptocurrency sell-off and as well as what's going on in the broad markets as a whole. So,
can I ask you to kick things off, just in general, right? As somebody that understands the Forex market as well as yourself, what do you look at when you see the craziness of the entire crypto sector? Does that play into anything going on with currencies in your head, or is just kind of general volatility that's affecting everything right now?
Well, not in the normal context of interrelation. Like currency crosses have a economic relationship between, like, for instance, like how are your relationships between one country and another? They impact them. This has no impact on cryptocurrencies.
Sure.
Certain other markets, like how we've been talking about the interrelation of interest rates and gold and oil with the currency markets, that has nothing to do with cryptocurrencies. I think that the sell-off with this crypto space, I don't think it's just because it's overdone. I think that there's a rotation of assets. You look at, there's now, I looked at the number, like, on how many altcoins there are out there now. You think that we have a lot of stocks on the NASDAQ, for Christ's sakes. The crypto universe is exploding, So could it be that people are rotating out of Bitcoin and buying Dogecoin, because they can have a chance to, buy something at under $1, it could be many reasons why we have that. Yeah, exactly. There's no real clear area, like, for instance, like you look at the US dollar, which has been on the skids for the past couple months. We've been talking about the relationships with other markets. And I think what's going on now with the currencies, and the dollar is in some serious trouble right now. You look at what's happening, now it's gotten political, because what's going on in the Middle East right now, this is a big strike for the dollar. Normally, let's say it was 20 years ago and you had what's going on between Palestine and Israel right now, you would see a bond rally, you'd see a dollar rally. It's just a natural occurrence, because one of our allies is in jeopardy and we would be normally supporting them. We're not doing that this time. Now we're actually, as of yesterday, we're sending aid to Hamas in Palestine. This makes no sense whatsoever. And I think that it's going to get very political now with the U.S. dollar right now as far as what's going on. Like, you see the strength in the euro, you see the strength in all these other currencies. And I got some targets for you, and I have to say they're going against the dollar. So U.S. dollar Canada, we know it's a big bear. Right now, I have a target of $1.1920 new move lows. Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar, they're the two that I think are kind of neutral. They're kind of in a trading range. Like right now, I would say Australian dollar between 78.58 and 76.88. It's going to be a chop zone, but I'm looking for a challenge of 78.58, and then I think it could get as high as 81.20. Okay, especially because there still is the commodity factor involved. New Zealand dollar, it's in a chop zone too. I don't think it's going to have quite the rally that Australian dollar probably will, but that's in a range between 73.04 and 71.34. If it gets above 73.04, then I think it's going to start really, really grinding higher, not exploding higher, but grinding higher, maintaining this bullish tone that it's had for basically now a year and a half, okay? The U.S. dollar yen, that's a struggling bull. You remember how I've been very bullish on the U.S. dollar yen because of oil and other things like that?
Yes.
That's off the table.
Okay.
I think that's going to really start to fall apart. Right now I have a directional pivot for the yen of 108.33. Upside, I think maybe if the bears can kind of maintain momentum, we could get up to 110.60. I do not see that happening, especially with the sell-off in oil going on right now. If that really if oil just stays where it's at, U.S. dollar yen is most likely going to collapse over the next week or two. I have a downside target of 107.90, right now. So. And I think that's very reachable. That's not being outlandish in expectations by any means. Even if you remove all the political factors and the commodity factors, to have a correction down to that level is very, very, obtainable and rational. For the U.S. dollar Swiss, I'm bearish that market now. I was looking for potentially a bounce with that one. Not anymore. I think it's going to grind down to 89.20, and especially because think about this. Like I said, we're getting into this is a political factor. If the dollar is no longer a flight to quality mechanism, which it normally is, where do you go? You're going to go to the Swiss. You're going to go to the yen. You're going to pound the bonds. So, and I think that's really going to happen. You have a sell-off in oil, and you got the British pound. This is the big one right here. Okay. We are flirting with major new highs. I got 141 as a directional pivot, and I have an upside target of $1.4460 that if it wasn't for what happened in the past 24 hours, I would say that stronger oil could get the pound up to there over the next couple months. I think it could happen in the next week or two, to be quite honest with you, especially if things escalate in the Middle East. And then there's the euro US dollar, the big dog in the dollar index. It's a bull targeting 124 even, the dollar index is pushing multi-month lows, multi-year lows, and, could we get a bounce? Absolutely we could. But I think that besides the commodity trend that we've talked about, this political skew is confusing for the rest of the world. Think about this. If Hamas starts a fight with Israel and now we're going to back Hamas and tell Israel they need to cease fire, what happens when all of a sudden things get agitated in other parts of the world? What does, especially with China kicking up its heels, God forbid China really makes a move on Taiwan. How comfortable do you think Japan is going to feel? So, and then you're looking at what is Japan going to think about the U.S., one of its biggest allies? How are we going to react to them? And right now I think that climate, and I'm not trying to make this political. It's just about the actions that are happening,
Sure.
And the United States is acting differently than it has for decades, even if you're trying to just to mitigate peace, So when you start turning on your allies and supporting your enemies, it starts to wonder what's going to happen as far as your own currency and stuff like that. And I think, I've been looking for the dollar to kind of at least set a range and recover a little bit. I don't see that happening now at all. I'm becoming very bearish to dollar.
Yeah, it's been on quite a run recently in terms of lower prices. We were above 93 on the dollar index, the Bloomberg dollar index. When's that? March 30th. Yeah, basically coming into April. And right now we're sitting at 89.88, basically an inverse of that euro US dollar chart. Same deal. March 31st, you were trading at 116. We're trading at 122.37. And crude, like you said, man, this run in crude right now, it's down $2.20. Quite a pullback, and you back it up. We were above 67 to start early early yesterday. We might see a 62 handle on crude in the near future. We're about 28 cents away. Well, Teddy, man, we appreciate the Forex overview, the education as always, man. Always some great insights, and we look forward to talking to you next week, man.
Sounds good. Sell dollars, sell bonds.
You heard it, folks. There you go. Sell dollars, sell bonds.
Care, guys.
And hey, what do we still see oil though? Eventually getting up on those lofty levels, maybe in the future. Absolutely.
I'm
Good.
For 75 before $100 oil.
Perfect, man. Awesome. Thanks, Teddy. We'll talk to you next week, man. Okay.
Right.
Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Markets can rise and fall like the tides. Subscribe to Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, and you too can ride the wave. Basil Chapman is an authority in technical analysis. His Chapman Wave trading system has been helping traders identify trends and capitalize on momentum in the markets since 1984. TFNN invites you to test Basil's proprietary Chapman Wave trading methodology with a monthly subscription to the Opening Call newsletter for only $149. Your subscription to the Opening Call comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, as well as daily market updates on key indexes, stocks, and commodities. Ride the wave. Sign up for the Opening Call risk-free today.
Introducing Primal Edge.
Today, it's even more important to take a supplement that complements your health. Primal Edge is specifically formulated to boost your immune system and help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Our early ancestors found all their nutritional requirements in the wild environment. But today, our food sources don't contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that we need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated humic and fulvic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, without them, life cannot exist.
That's right, Ellen. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge. Just $89 exclusively at TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Well, welcome back, folks. So Bitcoin catching a little bit of a bounce. We're $6,000 off the lows. This market, watch out. That's a 20% pop, folks, from the lows. Bitcoin, not really a store of value, definitely a trading vehicle. We'll see where the dust settles today. We're going to see some volatility all day today in that crypto sector. Now, Coinbase, I was seeing headlines pop out that Coinbase was actually down at one point for redemptions, for trading, as the market was going a little haywire. Not what you want to hear. Coinbase already, though, paying the penalty with the crypto sector from 307 last week to 208 on the open this morning. We'll jump over to Apple. Apple shares down 1%, a little bit of a pop on the open. So interesting, Apple coming out. They're going to be coming out with some new products here. They have the headline, MacBook Pro, MacBook Air revamps. MacBook Pro, as early as this summer, I believe. Where did they come up with? Where's my line here? Preparing several new Mac laptops and desktops, new designs. The overhaul encompasses a broad range of Macs. MacBook Pros expected to debut as soon as early this summer, followed by the revamped MacBook Air. Now, computers are representing quite a number in terms of their revenue. The Mac line, talk about 10% of total sales for Apple, $9.1 billion selling Macs. And interesting here that for the new MacBook Pros, they're planning 2 different chips. Both include 8 high-performance cores, 2 energy-efficient cores, a total of 10, offered in either 16 or 32 graphics. But they're going to be cutting Intel basically out of their business. They're going to be producing chips. Interesting stuff as Apple looks to consolidate and control their product lines, and they'll be pushing out new products coming. They got the MacBook Pro, kind of the powerhouse of their laptop, and then they get the MacBook Air, more the consumer line of their laptop. Both of them getting overhauls, looks to be in the next 6 months. And Apple, man, talk about crushing it out of the park. And Apple is still sitting at basically prices that we've been at since last August. Some of these tech stocks, folks, you saw it in Apple, been talking about, you've had a consolidation in Amazon since July practically. We're at 32.10. Amazon getting a little bit of a lift with some of those tech stocks on the open. But man, oh man, we got S&Ps down 52 points, folks, and we get Bitcoin with a 36,000 handle. And we got the VIX we'll finish it up with 25 handle. Stay tuned, folks. Basil Chapman coming up with the Tiger Technicians Hour live from 10 to 11. Fast Market, Kevin Hicks, Alex Kaufman, TDA Ameritrade Network at 11 o'clock. Larry Pezzamento at noon. Steve Rhodes, Dave White, Tom O'Brien, all live this afternoon. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back.